We'll call this meeting to order. It's 9:30, Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. This is our regular business meeting and consent agenda. Would ask if you would join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Old business, we have the minutes. Having reviewed the minutes, do you have a motion?
Yes. I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from April 21st, 2025 through April 25th, 2025.
Okay, I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Minutes are approved. For new business, we have one beer and wine liquor license for us today for Castaway Fly Shop in Kingston. Any comment or feedback on that?
No.
Okay. And we have reviewed Shoshone County payables. Any comments you'd like to make on those?
No.
And I just finished those myself. And we have no cancellation or homeowners cancellations this week before us. So with that would conclude new business. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries for consent agenda. Before we go to public comment, we have no indigent cases before us this week, correct? Okay, so we go to public comment. Let me go around the room. Yeah, Mrs. Beener, do you have a comment today?
I do. I'm coming in because it's now been 17 months since there was a big meeting that was supposed to be about all of the encroachment/nuisance complaints that I've made. And really nothing's happened since then, so I was wanting to find out, in February of 24, I always have to do public records requests to find out what's going on with things. So I did a public records request in February of 24 for updates concerning that area, but I was told I'd be charged $11,000 or $11,806.25 for the IT, the prosecuting attorney, and the BOCC clerk's time. In the past, I had done the same kind of requests for emails because that's the only way you find out what's going on. And IT had done them in under 10 minutes. So at that point, obviously, there's been enough spent on surveyors. I've spent enough on my surveys and attorney's time. I wasn't going to go another $12,000. So I just sat back and waited. In October of 24, I reported a possible structure being built on block, I think it's 21. It's the Whites' property. And Dan did look into it, Public Works, or P&Z, sorry, did look into it, and he got back to me and stated that they had done a complete deed and resolution research and visited with the homeowner. It's an enclosed garden area, so it doesn't need permitted, which is fine. But he then said, as far as for the location of it, it was confirmed that the area in question was indeed vacated to Mrs. White in October of 2012. And then he gives the resolution in that. I didn't realize now that Mr. Martinson knows exactly where the lines are up in that area. The surveys have been done, but nobody has committed to Stratton's survey. But now he can confirm that a questionable vacate, that this is in the right area. Again, it might be on part of the alley. I don't know for sure. Then I informed, we're now to 2025. So again, we're working into the 17 months of what was supposed to be the final solution. We now have a new owner for the home by the F Street intersection, and that is a big part of the encroachments and what people have been trying to deal with. So we're now on to a third owner since the surveying and stuff was started, and since the previous BOCC had refused to vacate F Street. The new owner has brought in a storage container, one of those 10 by 40 they fit on the back of the truck thing, big metal things. I think they're called storage containers, which is now at least 10 feet, or taking up at least 10 feet of a 20-foot alley that is not their property. In the meantime, the city, or the county, has also allowed Zipley's new fiber pedestal to be placed on the edge of a garage that is known to be encroaching on Tomshi. So now the county Public Works has allowed the encroachment to come out further into Tomshi Avenue. The county's been made aware of all of this. I believe that my husband talked to Public Works and they came out and looked at something, but again, can't find out what's going to be done about it. And this is how this works. It sits there, somebody complains about it, nothing gets done for 2 years, and it now becomes a fixed fixture. We have F Street. There are the intersection of Tomshi and F Street. There is a telephone pole and 2 pedestals for utilities that are clearly in the middle of an intersection. Whether it's been proven by pins in the ground or not, it doesn't take an engineer or anybody with really too many brain cells to see that there is utility poles in there. Avista knows that they have an easement, but they also know their easement is for the alleyway. It is not for this intersection, and nothing can be done. We can't commit to a Stratton survey because according to Public Works and the prosecuting attorney, it can't be stood by because the surveyor won't stand behind his survey. But yet he stamped it and dated it and says that it meets or exceeds the National Map Accuracy Standards. Again, some of his notes, he's taking and making impressions based off of interviews with homeowners that say, oh yeah, my garage is definitely where it is because I measured off the railroad. But yet the only people that have pins in the ground are Matt and Mindy Beaner that have paid for their private lot, their shop lots. Everybody else's word is taken because there's a piece of rebar in the ground that could line up to something, or because a homeowner says that he had his his property surveyed, but never provided any information nor never had it recorded. So at what point do, the county Public Works or Public P&Z can swear that this location is all right because of a resolution, and somebody can have their garage not be an encroachment because they had something surveyed, but they have no proof of it? So at what point are you guys, meaning all of you and gal, going to step up and have, I don't know, the backbone or what? Somebody has to make a decision somewhere. And we have gone on, and I'm at the point of, I have investors. There's a big gathering in Wallace this summer, which when we bought the property was going to be for putting some campers and stuff on years ago. Now we've lost that opportunity. Now we're coming into another summer where there's an all-class reunion and no ability to get our water and stuff back there. So how long do we have to keep losing money? So far, the only people that have paid anything in that area are the Beaners and then all of the taxpayers of Shoshone County. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any comment?
No, thank you for the information.
I will say that the last thing you said was news to me because when I asked your husband about bringing water back there a month or 2 ago, he told me he wasn't sure that was the plan anymore because of costs.
Well, yeah, we can't and haven't been able to go forward since we started.
No, I asked him even if we resolved the issue, he said he couldn't confirm that was the plan anymore.
We have to go find the costs again because of COVID and everything. I don't know. Basically,
I was just confused.
Yeah, no. Basically, we're sitting there trying to decide whether or not the lack of any type of movement or decision has just basically made those properties useless to us.
Okay. Understand your frustration.
Don't know if that was the game. Wait it out until the Beaners can't do anything with it, and then so.
No, but there's some confusion, and some of it, like when your husband says he doesn't think you would do the water anymore, but then you just mentioned that you might. So there's some of this confusion in the communication. But
Just like to have open access to it to begin with,
yeah, well,
or poles off of a road that are distinctly in an intersection.
but of course the risk of taking that further is that the decision could go the other way, and the county could could go the other direction, and then it could be an even tougher situation. So the survey is an issue. That's all I can tell you right now is I'm getting conflicting messages on how we can legally use the survey. So I get your frustration. We have some as well. It seems like it would be a lot easier to solve than it has been. Thank you for your willingness to continue. All right. With that, we are adjourned until 10 a.m. for a discussion on a blight.